Dude, I messed up.
Gavin messed up. I'm not surprised.
Hey
guys, morning. I am Regina here at Norwalk. It's really cold outside. It's raining. All you Midwesterners, I'm so sorry that you're freezing over there, but Californians can't handle the rain, which I'm sure we'll see a lot of because Kyogre is still a thing. Anyway, we're here at a PC. We've got 19 Masters, which means we get a very special top 8 cut, top 4 CP. And as you can hear, we're having a fun time in the background. But we've got for you Alejandro Jimenez, or Alex, or Legacy, depending on what you want to call him. And Ashley Stelzer. She don't know how to say her last name, so I'm really sorry, Ashley, when you rewatch this. Anyway, Alex already locking in with that Tyranitar, Landorus Theron form, Ho-Oh, Dialga, Amoonguss, Tapu Fini, and Ashley on the other side with Incineroar, Groudon, Amoonguss, Kartana, Lugia, and Tapu Fini. So instead of, the usual Kyogre Groudon fight, we've got a, I guess, a Lugia Ho-Oh fight, which I'm very firmly on one side over the other here. But it'll be fun. I think Alex has some Pokemon that, you don't ever really see very often, and it got really quiet in the background. But, this will be fun. So we've got Incineroar and Groudon on the field for Ashley and Dialga, and I'm guessing it's going to be the Tyrant. Oh, the Landorus. Man, this almost feels like old formats. But, a lot of physical attackers on the field here. The Intimidate from Alex's Landorus is going to go first into both of Ashley's Pokemon. And now we've got the Sun coming up, which I could use some Sun right now. It's raining for the next 4 days. Not a fan of this. And now we've got another Intimidate now from Ashley's Incineroar into both Alex's Pokemon. So big up pressure from Ashley's side, but that Landorus is going to be really, really fast. So it does have the option to kind of go for some super effective attacks, expecting to possibly see some rock slides, and no weather pivot actually for Alex. So actually having the dominant weather here, always going to have the Sun up as long as she can protect that Groudon and keep it around for however long she wants. So going to be interesting to see how it interacts. I'm actually really invested in seeing how the Ho-Oh and the Lugia are going to be, as those are kind of Pokemon that you don't really see super often. And that Ho actually is going to be coming in for Alex's side. It's going to do really nice with that Sacred Fire in this weather. And now we've got the Fake Out from that Incineroar going into that Landorus. It's going to stop it on this turn. And now Precipice Blade's not going to hit either Pokemon because they're both flying types. So a very safe switch in for Alex here. That Ho coming in for very free. So has the potential to go for Tailwind to make sure that he's faster for later. Not going to be super important, I guess, when you look at Groudon and Incineroar, who are both generally very slow Pokemon, but Alex is in a very nice position compared to Ashley, who has, the slower Pokemon right now, and is going to have to think about how she wants to take care of both Pokemon on Alex's side. And that Groudon is actually going to be switched out, so not going to want to have to try to go for Precipice Blaze again, can't hit anything. Then we've got the Lugia coming in, so kind of a silver and gold showdown on the field as a U-turn from Alex's Landorus goes into the Incineroar, and Alex is going to be able to bring back any Pokemon of his choice. Could possibly see that Dialga, and I totally just remembered he also has a Tyranitar on his team, so if the Tyranitar is in the back, he has the option to bring in Sandstorm. So Dialga hitting the field again, so both these Pokemon here, Sacred Fire from Ho goes into Lugia, is going to break that multi-scale, does a lot of damage, so it gets the burn as well. So it's a little bit tough for Ashley from the get-go. Knockoff from Incineroar into the Dialga, not revealing items, so has a potential has that Z Crystal on it. The burn gonna really hurt Ashley in terms of like that HP. The multi-scale has already been broken, and Lugia generally a special attacker, so the burn doesn't matter in terms of the attack stat, just matters more for the HP loss. And man, it's both hot and cold in here at the same time. So, oh well. And there's Smash still playing in the background, and I really want to go play now because I can hear it. And there's nobody else to play against because everybody's playing here. But Ashley is saying that Lugia is not going to be very useful. It's going to switch back in that Groudon, so you're going to take her fire won't be doing as much to her. But if Alex gets the burn again, that's going to be really tough. As Ho-Oh goes for the Brave Bird, so is going to be able to get some really good damage out. Hasn't been intimidated from earlier. Goes into that Incineroar and just barely misses the berry range on that Incineroar, and we have the Z Crystal from Dialga being revealed to be Stellium Z, which I think that's my second time seeing it. The first time being 2 weeks ago in Dallas with Terry Solgaleo. But the corkscrew crash upon that Dialga is going to go into that Groudon. That's going to hurt. That's actually the first time I've seen that animation all the way through, because in Solgaleo it's like it's its special animation, but almost knocks out that Groudon. But Dialga taking that Flare Blitz really nicely, finally gets the Berry Dough for Ashley's Incineroar. Oh, I love that this is a format where I can see Z moves I've never seen before. It's always really fun. So, that Ho is still sitting pretty. Ugh. Yeah, so I think Ho has only taken the damage from... Ooh! Actually, yeah. So, Ashley's in kind of a tough position because that Groudon and that Lugia are both kind of not in very good positions. That Groudon, if it can't hit any of Alex's Pokemon, is going to be in trouble. Alex still has the Landorus in the back, so if he switches out his Dialga, can get Intimidate into you know, both of these Pokemon, but we actually have Tapu Fini coming out onto the field here in place of that Incineroar, so kind of showing that last Pokemon on Ash's side. Wouldn't have mattered with the Lugia earlier anyway because it's a flying type. Sacred Fire though, gonna make sure that no Pokemon here can get burned, but that Groudon is actually gonna get knocked out instead on this turn. And Stelzer going for the Earth Power, so probably just gonna try to take out that Incineroar, but gets a critical hit on that Tapu Fini, so it's just kind of a tough spot for Ashley. You know, her Lugia's in the back, still burned. Alex hasn't been forced to reveal his last Pokemon. Tapu Fini, a very known as a very good support Pokemon, is not gonna really be able to take either of Alex's Pokemon down unless she can set it up in a way that it can. But Tapu Fini in this format, in Sun and Moon so far, has been relegated to more of a support role as opposed to an offensive role that we've seen it from when it got first introduced here. So Alex still in just a really dominant position here, and honestly the most important thing for him is he hasn't shown his last Pokemon, and I'm sitting here trying to wonder what it is too. But now Tapu Fini, actually, that is Flying Z from that Lugia, which is a variant that I really want to explore. I've heard that James Beck's team has been using it. So we have Z Tailwind, which ups the critical hit ratio, and if that Lugia is carrying Aeroblast, which it probably should, that's a guaranteed critical hit every single time. However, Alex has every opportunity to take care of it beforehand, and he goes for that Brave Bird, and he goes into that Lugia again. Again, multi-scale has been broken from before. That bird is going to hurt it on later, but Heal Pulse is going to prolong that just a little bit, going to heal up that Lugia and get those critical hit Aeroblasts here, but Flash Cannon from Dialga probably going to double down into it. Yep, and this Lugia is going to be in a little bit of potential trouble. However, Sacred Fire won't be doing as much now because Sunlight has faded, and the Tailwind from earlier is going to give Ashley a little bit more of that speed, and gives her the option to go again for that Heal Pulse on there. So now Alex has to worry about those critical hits, and has to worry about the fact that Tapu Fini, if he doesn't take care of it, can go for those Heal Pulses and keep that Lugia around for just a little bit longer. So, not out of it yet, which is always kind of fun to see, especially with the Tapu Fini interactions. I think Tapu Fini has just been a really fun Pokemon to see get consistent usage so far here. And now we've got the Earth Power from Dialga. Oh, sorry, the Earth Power from Lugia. Can't read this properly. And barely misses the knockout on that Dialga, holding on with 2 HP, but Heal Pulse from Tapu Fini is going to be healing up that Lugia. Again, it's going to be able to take another hit from that Ho-Oh and that Brave Bird. And I think, honestly, if you're Alex, you should be probably looking into taking care of that Tapu Fini first, because the more it can Heal Pulse, it's going to be trouble. But Dialga goes for the Trick Room, and I guess that's another way to deal with it. When you get the speed, when you reverse the speed control on here, and honestly, Dialga's such a good Trick Room setter, and being able to hold on with that 2 HP, I think Alex would have been in a good spot even if Dialga had been knocked out, because he's able to do enough damage that Ashley is going to have to consistently press Heal Pulse on that Tapu Fini, and it's kind of in a position where it's been locked in, and she can't really switch out that Lugia because it's already gotten that critical hit ratio, it's gotten the Z move, and you know, it's her only big damage dealer at this point. So Flash Cannon from Dialga going to go first now because of the fact that we are in Trick Room. Is going after that Tapu Fini. I think that's just barely out of berry range here, and that Ho-Oh is going to go actually into that Lugia instead of Tapu Fini. So going to knock out the Lugia on this turn, not going to wait to get those critical hits, and Tapu Fini goes for the Nature's Madness, so actually understanding, hey, I'm not going to be able to do anything here, so let's just try to get some of these Pokemon out. That Ho-Oh is going to get hit by Nature's Madness, but it's still going to be around for another turn. We've only got the Incineroar and the Tapu Fini on the field now for Ashley. So kind of a good turn of play here from Alex, being able to go for the trick room, holding on and surviving here, still able to show that he's only got these 2 Pokemon in the field and the Landorus, and like keeping that 4th Pokemon a secret. So Incineroar has the ability to pick up the knockout here on Dialga with the Fake Out, or can go for Ho-Oh, but I think at this point it's just going to be Alex's game to kind of take, because neither Incineroar or Tapu Fini I think really have the firepower to be able to take care of all the Pokemon in the back, especially and we see the forfeit from Ashley. So that was a fun game 1. I'm finally figuring out how to play Pokemon again. This week has been spent not paying attention to Pokemon. I've been playing Pokemon Go a lot. So for everybody out there who's playing, Palkia is so annoying to try to catch, but it's the only time I've seen Palkia so far. Recently at least. But going into game 2, I think one of the most important things to remember for Ashley is that she has to watch out for that Trick Room from Dialga. And I think her Groudon could be used a little bit better. Alex was able to read the Precipice Blades and, switch in Pokemon who wouldn't be affected by that. And I think if you've got a different move on that Groudon, maybe something that will hit all the Pokemon on here, because 2 of them actually have pretty similar team makeups. They've both got a Steel type in terms of like the Kartana and Dialga, and Lugia Ho-Oh matchups. Lugia, I think, has like the nice multi-scale ability, and the Z-Tailwind is always really nice. I think Ho-Oh has just seen more consistent play. Both Groudon and Tyranitar have the ability to change weathers. We didn't really actually see that from Alex. He just allowed the sun to be up because it actually kind of benefited his team in the end too, because he had that Ho-Oh on the field and was able to use the Sacred Fire, got the burn, which actually really helped as well. So it'll be interesting to see if he adjusts or what Ashley's going to do with that Groudon especially. I think having the Tapu Fini as a support Pokemon is really nice, but I think in the end it was just not able to really do its job, again because of that burn room, because of the fact that Dialga held on to get Trick Room up. So yeah, I don't know if anybody can tell that I'm really tired right now too. Had 4 shots of espresso this morning and I was really hyper at work, and then I took a nap, and then I got here and all of a sudden it's really quiet, and I don't like talking by myself when it's quiet. Anyway, so Dialga and Landorus once more from Alex. So we got the same lead now from actually a different lead from Ashley here, where we've got the Lugia and the Incineroar. So the Intimidate from Alex's Landorus is going to be hitting both these Pokemon. Obviously a little bit more important on the Incineroar, as a lot of Lugia's moves are very special based. We know that it has Tailwind for that critical hit ratio for later on, and we also have that Corkscrew Crash, the Stellium Z from Dialga, so it's able to hit a lot of the Pokemon on Ashley's team as well, and I think, Alex is aware of that, and it makes this Dialga a little bit scarier to kind of deal with. So Fake Out potential as well here, so I think, and it's a little bit scarier. We have the Z Tailwind from the get-go here from Ashley, so wants to make sure that Lugia is set up as soon as possible, which is a little bit of a change that she had from game 1. Again, going to guarantee that all those Aeroblasts are going to be critical hits if it's carrying Aeroblast. We've only seen Tailwind and Earth Power from it so far. We do have a U-turn from Landorus going into that Lugia, so no Fake Out actually here from Ashley. Probably going to go for Flare Blitz, or just maybe knock off into whatever Alex is switching out. And honestly, breaking that multi-skill, really smart choice from Alex. Going to make sure that Lugia can take the full damage that it can from all the moves that he's throwing at it. And Tapu Fini is actually going to be revealed on this turn. So that Misty Terrain, we also have that potential for Alex's Tapu Fini to also be what type of support Pokemon we can see it, as we have Roar from Incineroar, so a nice little tech against Xerneas that she might see later on, bringing out that Landorus against, and not quite revealing the last Pokemon on Alex's side, but gets another Intimidate into both of Ashley's Pokemon, which, I think for Alex isn't really that bad here. Because now that Incineroar's at -2, it's definitely not going to be able to really do anything. Lugia has been set up, yeah, but I think, the biggest thing for her about using Roar there was wanting to stop that Trick Room from happening, which, all honesty, smart on her for realizing that, in game 1, that was something that worked against her. So now the speed control is completely in her court here. She has the ability to go for those Aeroblasts and kind of take out Pokemon as she wants. Actually, a manual withdraw from her Incineroar and brings out her own, Tapu Fini onto the field. So we might see those Heal Pulse plays again once more. Landorus being manual switched out as well. We've got Dialga coming back in, and so This is definitely going to be something that, Alex is going to be like, hey, Dialga's going to be my best bet here. I can go for those Z moves. Now, Aeroblast from that Lugia, again, boosted by the Z Tailwind, is going to be a critical hit on this Tapu Fini. Almost gets it down to half health here, but Tapu Fini going for the Moonblast. And now we have Alex targeting down this Lugia. Honestly, the scariest Pokemon on that side of the field for Ashley, because those critical hits ignore everything that you could do to set up. And Tapu Fini actually with Moonblast on Alex's is an interesting choice. It's not something that you really see. You see a lot of, I think, Icy Winds and sort of screens from Tapu Fini for the most part here, but Earth Power from that Lugia is going to hit into that Dialga, does so much damage, and almost picks up that knockout here as Nature's Madness from Ashley's on Tapu Fini connects with the Dialga here, and gets it down into the red. Light screen being put up by Alex here, not going to matter for the meanwhile until he can get rid of that Lugia because of those special attacks, but Dialga able to set up Trick Room safely. Ashley not quite able to knock out that Dialga quite as she hoped, so Dialga is in actually a pretty nice spot here now. The only problem is still that Lugia on the side of the field is still at that increased critical hit ratio, is still able to do a lot of damage. Despite multi-scale being broken, it's still in a spot where it can just deal damage, and Alex is kind of on the back foot here trying to deal with that. Dialga won't be able to take another hit. Tapu Fini on Ashley's side, we haven't really seen any sort of damaging moves besides, Nature's Madness. So the Heal Pulse and Nature's Madness are the only thing we've seen so far from Ashley's Tapu Fini. Alex's is a little bit more offensive with a Moonblast on one of its move slots as opposed to one of those other moves. However, again, Lugia still in a really good spot to just kind of attack and not have to worry about being hit. Tapu Fini on Ashley's side is still at full health, is able to go for Heal Pulses as it wants, but is actually going to be withdrawn instead. So now we've got that Groudon coming back onto the field, bringing in that it's going to be bringing in that Sun, and is able to actually go for attacks. Just actually really strong attacks here. Dialga going for Earth Power though into that Tapu Fini spot, gets the Groudon on the switch in, does some okay damage on here, and Tapu Fini going once more for that Moonblast, goes into what was a Tapu Fini is now that Groudon spot, and gets a critical hit. However, his Groudon is still holding on, so if it had a berry, it's just out of berry range. Tapu Fini holding on past that critical hit Aeroblast is able to eat that berry and get some of that health back. So I think Alex is really going to have to focus down on this Lugia as Tailwind does expire. However, Trick Room is still up. Just the problem here now is that Lugia is still safely in the green and is still able to go for Earth Powers, those Aeroblasts. There's not a lot that Alex can try to do to stop it until he switches out, but whatever Pokemon he brings in is going to have to take a critical hit attack from that Lugia in general. So now we've got this, that Landorus coming back into the field is going to be able to get Intimidate onto both Pokemon, again, more importantly on that Groudon, as Groudons are physical attackers here, and it's just going to depend on what that Groudon decides to do, but it does switch out, and it's going to be bringing in that Tapu Fini once more. So actually I think trying to bait some moves here as Tapu Fini goes for Moonblast on Alex's side, is going to go into what was that Groudon, is now that Tapu Fini, so finally going to get some damage into that Pokemon. Does get the special attack drop, but we haven't really seen sort of any attacking moves besides Nature's Madness as Aeroblast goes into the Anderson. Does a lot of damage, that critical hit, getting out into about half health here, but that Landorus still sitting kind of pretty, so Trick Room still up. This is going to be the last turn for it, so Alex is going to have to really capitalize and try to figure out what he's going to do. That Lugia, once it has been set up, is kind of deadly. He doesn't have a lot of ways to stop it right now. So this is actually going to be a problem for Alex. I think for him the problem right now is with that Lugia being nice company setup, despite multi-scale being broken, it's able to deal out a lot of damage onto his side of the field, and Ashley is still, at really good health with most of her Pokemon here. Tapu Fini on Alex's side going for the Icy Wind, so we won't be seeing another Trick Room later on because that Dialga won't be able to survive enough to do that. Mana Distiller speed on both Pokemon on Ashley's side, which is going to be helpful after Trick Room expires, which is going to be this turn again, as Heal Pulse from Tapu Fini on Ashley's side is going to be able to heal up that Lugia all the way back up, and it's going to bring back that multi-scale ability, as now we have Landorus going for the Earth Power, goes into that Tapu Fini on Ashley's side, doesn't really do enough damage to kind of even get it into the yellow, as Landorus is going to be going down on this turn from that Aeroblast. Those critical hits are so nice to have every single turn, and I doubt that Alex really has many ways to deal with it. I mean, that Dialga is still hasn't used its Z move on this match, so he has the option to try to go for that. The problem is multi-scale is now back up, so he has to have a little bit more firepower into that Lugia, but we do get that Ho-Oh revealed as the last Pokemon here. That Sacred Fire you know, it's going to be a little bit stronger in the sun, has the ability to burn still because both Tapu Finis are on the field and Mystery Terrain has expired. However, I think Alex is still going to have to try to figure out how he's going to stop that Lugia, again, because of the fact that Multi-Scale is back. Yep, Alex is going to forfeit this match here, kind of realizing that Ashley has sort of protected that Lugia well, has been able to switch out her Pokemon very consistently, and actually in a weird sort of mirror of game 1, Ashley did show all 4 of her Pokemon here, but it's a little bit tough now here for Alex. He has to realize that that Lugia is the Pokemon he has to stop. If he doesn't keep that Lugia from setting up that Z Tailwind and get that increased critical hit ratio, it's going to be another sort of game over. And I think Ashley is in a spot where, you know, it's okay for her to really lead once more with that Lugia and that Incineroar, because she can safely set up that Z Tailwind. There's nothing on Alex's side actually that can really go for a fake out, which surprisingly, given the fact that Incineroar has been so dominant in both Sun Series and Moon Series recently. So Alex, just on the back foot from the get-go, like kind of unable to just stop the sort of Incineroar Lugia combo, which Ashley leading that game 2 was fantastic for her. She was able to, you know, stop the Dialga from setting up Trick Room and was able to set up that Lugia. And I think even after Trick Room was set up by Dialga, she was able to kind of pivot around it and be like, you know, that's fine. I still have like a near full health Lugia. I've got Pokemon in the back that can take care of that. And the same 4 that she's brought in both games, I think would work out for her in here. I think it's Alex who has to really consider how he's going to change, because the plays that he's been making have only been really passive because he's been trying to set himself up so much that he's not able to do damage that he needs to stop things like that Lugia or stop that Tapu Fini from being able to be heal pulls. So Tyranitar finally being revealed here, Tyranitar and Dialga. So chip damage on 2 Pokemon. Most of the Pokemon actually on Ashley's team, as we've got that Lugia and that Incineroar combo that worked for her so well in that first game. So that chip damage from Tyranitar, unless Ashley forces herself to switch out into Groudon, that chip damage from the Sandstream is going to break that multi-scale on Lugia. And so something very important for kind of Ashley and Alex to consider, that Lugia's multi-scale is kind of what helps keeps it around, and it's just very bulky as a Pokemon anyway. But I think Tyranitar is a really good adjustment because the consistent sort of chip damage and the up of that special defense for certain Pokemon is always really nice to have on your side of the field. No intimidates though, so all Pokemon on the field are going to be, all the Pokemon on Ashley's side of the field are going to be at full attack power, as opposed to Alex's side, which both the Tyranitar and Dialga are at -1 attack stage. So fake out now from the Sensor are going to stop that Dialga on this turn, as Earth Power from Lugia is going to go into that Tyranitar, understanding, hey, I got to have the better weather here, and trying to stop that Tyranitar. We do have the flinch from that Dialga, so not quite for sure from this turn, but the Rock Slide just going to be able to break that that multi-scale as well on Lugia, and is able to get a lot of damage onto that Incineroar. Surprised she didn't actually try to set up on this turn. I think it's really nice having those sort of those guaranteed critical hits. However, that Tyranitar is going to be a bit of a threat, and it's going to be really, I think we're going to see that Groudon for her. Yep, so that Incineroar being switched out, going to bring in that Groudon here, and they're going to rewrite that weather, so we are going to have the sun come back out, no more Sandstream, which means no more chip damage. And so Lugia once more going for that Earth Power into Tyranitar. Alex actually choosing to leave that in the game here is going to activate the Berry, so the item of choice here on that Tyranitar. And Tyranitar's going to have to try to get out there eventually because of the fact that, you know, that is a nice weather Pokemon to have. However, Dialga with that Steelian Z, once more that Corkscrew Crash, most likely going to go into that Lugia and try to stop it this turn. I'm actually surprised Ashley hasn't tried to set up her own Pokemon, honestly, but Alex is just like, you know what, I'm not going to give you that chance because I want that Lugia gone. That is sort of the linchpin on her team. Oh, but manages to hold on. That Rock Slide though is going to knock it out, and it's going to take down one of the stronger Pokemon on Ashley's side of the field. So we are going to be saying goodbye to that Lugia, which I think is the first time I've seen it faint these 3 games. The Groudon came in very nicely, was able to react the weather, took very little damage from that Rock Slide, but Alex was like, you know what, my main focus is that Lugia, and now that it's gone, we're in a perfectly good spot, and I think Alex has more options now to sort of pivot and be in a better position to try to win this game. Ashley bringing back in that Incineroar, goes for the Intimidate, gets the Fake Out back once more, so -2 for both of Alex's Pokemon here. Those Rock Slides were nice. Not going to be doing as much damage now that that Tyranitar's at -2, but it did its job, got rid of that Lugia. So you can try to reset that and bring in a different Pokemon on either side here. I don't actually really think he needs Trick Room to kind of operate against Ashley's Pokemon. There is no Tailwind, so Tyranitar going for the manual switch out, so we're going to get the Landorus onto the field now. So Landorus is going to get Intimidate into both of Ashley's Pokemon here. Super important, especially because that Groudon is a physical attacker, and we did see that only has Precipice Blade so far. We have the fake out now from that, and so we're going to go into that Dialga. I'm going to try to stop it again in case he does try to set up Trick Room. Precipice Blades. Oh, that's rough. I mean, Dialga flinching here, but because of the fact that Landorus is part flying, Precipice Blades doesn't hit, but Dialga avoiding the attack might actually hurt Ashley. And the more damage you can get out to a Pokemon like a Dialga, the better, because that is a really tough Pokemon to try to take out. We've seen it hold on with just a sliver of HP before and be able to set up as it needs to. It's a nice counter to certain Pokemon, and despite the fact that it's already used that Steelian Z, it is still a scary Pokemon to use later. Grass Knot from Landorus going into that Groudon. It is a heavy boy, so it does a lot of damage on there. Precipice Blades. Ooh, I am guessing that is going to be, actually we'll see from how much damage this does to Dialga. Ooh, that is a lot of damage onto Dialga despite being at -1. So most likely a abandoned Groudon potentially there. A Splash Cannon goes into the Incineroar. So, you know, not able to do that much damage. Assault Vest Landorus though might explain, yeah, so at least revealing the item on the Landorus, that Dialga is definitely not going to be able to take another Precipice Blades. That Groudon at -1 did so much damage. That was so scary. But Tapu Fini going to come back onto the field here. So going to be revealing that Ashley did in fact bring the same form for all 3 games. That Misty Terrain is going to be really nice for later. Actually switching in for that Grass Knot attack from that Landorus. So Tapu Fini is like, yeah, you can use a super effective move, but I'm way lighter than Groudon is. Burst Power from Dialga going into the Incineroar is going to take it out from this game. And now Groudon's going to be locked into that spot. And if Ashley does have a choice item on that Groudon, she's gonna have to really think about what she's gonna use as her move, because if Tapu Fini goes down, she won't be able to touch that Landorus, and so if she has any other move on here besides Precipice Blades that can hit either one of these Pokemon, again, a lot of Groudon, have been known to carry Fire Punch as well, and it's not. I mean, Zombie Tantrum and Precipice Blades are the 2 favorite moves for Groudon, but neither one of those are going to touch something like Landorus. Grass Knot going to go first though, so it's not going to matter in the end as Groudon is going to get knocked out on this turn. And Tapu Fini, we've only really seen Nature's Madness and Heal Pulse, and so it's just kind of sitting there pretty and not able to do anything, and all Alex really has to do is just put some damage into it and just go after it and just be like, you know, that's cool, Tapu Fini's hanging out here, but he's still got a full team, and that Tyranitar I think is what kind of helped in the end. I was able to get the chip damage, kind of forced Ashley to go down into that Tyranitar slot, allowing Dialga to kind of go for the Z move and pick up a knockout with the Tyranitar's Rock Slide. So I think part of it was, I don't know why she didn't actually go for her Z move at any point, but Tapu Fini's just gonna be sitting here, gets the berry back up, so we are gonna be delaying this sort of inevitable round win for Alex. Finally get to see an attack move here, so that Icy Wind from that Tapu Fini, but all we've really seen is Heal Pulse, Icy Wind, and Nature's Madness, so I mean, unless that last slot is an attack move, Ashley is definitely not going to be able to win. It's like, there's no way you can PP stall it. You've already consumed your berry. There's honestly nothing you can do at all. And, you know, it's just kind of one of those, I mean, Alex now is just going to go for, brings in Tyranitar for the Sandstream, so why not? You know, get that extra chip, because if you can't knock it out with Flash Cannon, at least you can try to end it on this turn. You can't even Heal Pulse yourself, but Dialga goes for the Protect, so it isn't going to get hit by another Icy Wind from that Tapu Fini, and Tyranitar is, but, you know, we've again got that Sandstorm damage from, onto that Tapu Fini, and I honestly don't really know what's going to, like, don't know what the delay is at this point, because Tapu Fini can't heal itself. Already eaten its berry. So, yeah, Ashley's forfeits this match, giving the round to Alex, and that was kind of fun. I enjoy when we see weird Pokemon like Tyranitar. I guess, could we consider Tyranitar a weird Pokemon? I feel like I can. Like, I definitely can. Hi. I love Tyran. She's my favorite. This is her Pikachu. So, anyways, we'll see you guys for round 2. I'm gonna go find some water, and yeah, bye guys.